I'm going to talk to you about something that is incredibly important and special to me, and that is sponsoring. And sponsoring just simply means you help somebody else become a jewelry lady, okay? And I'm going to tell you, if Premier had not been shared with me and I had not been sponsored, I don't know where we would be really in life right now, and all the blessings we would have missed out had Cheryl just not shared with us about Premier. And I can't imagine either not having some of the best of friends that I have now, because I shared Premier with them, and seeing their own lives change, I'll tell you, is just the biggest blessing ever. Also in your business, sponsoring produces two streams of income. So you have a really good income from your jewelry shows, but you can have like Jesus kind of income from sponsoring, okay? So you can only do so many shows a month, but your income potential when you sponsor, really the sky is the limit, and it can grow. It truly just reminds me that God is in control, and He is blessing so many other lives, and in turn our lives are blessed as well. Also, sponsoring makes your business like an airplane, and you know, an airplane doesn't have just one wing, it has two. And in Premier, your business needs two wings to really fly. And that one wing, of course, is your jewelry shows with your personal bookings and jewelry shows. And then the other wing, to really stay balanced and to really get air, is through sponsoring. So when you have those two things, that's really when you see your business take off and the sky is just the limit. So who do you share Premier with? Well, I'm going to go through a few different categories, and the first category is, of course, the women that you're in front of the most, and the biggest groups of women that you're in front of, and that would be the ladies at your jewelry show. So you want to make sure that you have a solid, quick, and to the point sponsoring activity within your jewelry show. So I'm just going to show you really quick what I've been doing probably for about the last year to year and a half at my jewelry shows. Is a simple demonstration. Now remember that you can learn more sponsoring activities or different ones when you come to monthly training and through our home show boot camps that we have every other month. So I'm just going to show you this one really quick, which I really like. So let me just set up here. Okay. So I usually say, ladies, you know, Premier pays us half of everything we sell. And before Premier, I was a teacher, and I loved teaching, but I wanted to stay home with my girls. And of course, I still had to have money. And so I decided, as Premier shared with us, we were a little short on our mortgage payment every month. And so I was looking to make an extra $200 a month. So I blindly signed up into Premier, which means I'd never been to a jewelry show and I'd never seen the jewelry in person. I just signed up, and when my kit came in the mail, it was the first time I ever laid eyes on Premier jewelry. So I had my very first show, and it was actually a lower show. It was a $300 show, but I made a little over $100 that night. And everybody left, and I looked at my husband and I said, you know what? It took me over a whole day of teaching, over a whole day, to make $150, which is what I just made sitting in my living room in a couple of hours playing in jewelry, okay, which was crazy. So after that, I was totally hooked, and my goal shot up to $1,000. So I usually share that at my show, and I say, so I'm just going to show you really quick, because who in here is a busy lady? And inevitably, everybody raises their hand, because guess what? These days, everybody's busy. So I want to make sure, side note, that I'm painting a picture for them that no matter how busy they are, Premier can make a difference in their lives by just doing a little bit. So I have a volunteer come up, and I say, I'm going to give you 10 extra tickets for the person who volunteers. So she'll come and volunteer, and I say, come on up, Sally. And I say, all right, now are you busy, lady? And she'll say, yeah. And I'll say, tell me why you're busy. And she'll name off a few things, and I'll say, yeah, girl, you're busy. So I'm going to show you how Premier can fit into your life without it taking over your life, okay? All right, so it's your first month as a jewelry lady, all right? How many jewelry shows do you think you could do in this first week of your business? And usually they say 2. And I'll say, no, you can only do 1 because you're so what? And she'll say, I'm so busy. And I'll say, that's right. What night works best for you in your schedule? Let's say she says Thursday night. Awesome, Thursday night jewelry show. You have an average show on Premier, which is $400, and Premier pays you half that night. So how much do you take home that night? And she'll say $200. And so I take out my big money, and I say, that's right, $200. So I'll pay her $100 and $200. And then I say, now guess what? You're done for the whole week. And it's your second week of business. How many jewelry shows do you think you could do this week? And usually she says, oh, I could do 2 this week. And I say, no, you're still really busy, so you can only do 1. And I say, what night works best? And she says, still Thursday. And I said, perfect. You have above average show this week. You have a $600 show. So how much money do you make? And she says, 300. And I say, that's right. So 100, 200, 300. All right, that's exciting. All for just hanging out with ladies and playing in jewelry. Okay, now it's your 3rd week of business. How many jewelry shows do you think you could do this week? And usually she says, oh, I could do 1. And I say, 0. You can't do any because you're so busy every night this week. But what you do is you have lunch with a few girlfriends and you're all blinged out now because you're the jewelry lady. So at the end of lunch, somebody buys your necklace, your bracelet, and your earrings, and they say, girl, I just love what you're wearing. I gotta have it. They spend $100 with you. So how much do you make? And she says 50. Now, this is where we don't sweat the small stuff. I actually don't have a 50, but I have 100. I'm gonna fold it in half. We're gonna pretend like it's a 50, and I hand that to her. And then I say, you're done. Now it's your 4th week of the month. This is your last week. How many jewelry shows do you think you could do this week? And she says, 2. And I say, just 1. You can only do 1 because you're busy. What night would be best? And she says, Saturday. And I say, awesome. I love Saturday shows. Another average jewelry show, $400. How much do you make? She says, 200, 100, 200. I say, that's right. Now count up all your money and let me know how much you make. And then I look at the ladies in the audience and I say, ladies, as she's counting, can you just remind me how many nights that she worked that month in Premier? And they'll say, 3. And I say, that's right. She just worked 3 nights and she had 1 very profitable lunch date. Sally, how much money did you make? $750. Now, I don't know about you, but you may be sitting here right now thinking, $750 would make a big difference to my family's budget. So if you have any questions, you want to know more, listen, all we have to do is talk, chat about it, and you can see if Premier is right for you or not. Okay, ladies, that's as simple as it is in sharing, doing your sponsoring activity at a jewelry show. That's literally all it takes. Now, there are lots of other ways. That's just a very simple way for me to share the business in a very quick way. So, first category is ladies at your jewelry shows. The second category you can share with is your friends and family. Listen, they are going to be watching you and they are going to be saying, I'm going to see if she does it. I'm going to see if it really works for her. And they're going to be thinking in the back of their head, maybe it may work for me too. So make sure that you're sharing with your friends and family. Some ways that you can share in this busy time and this society. Everybody's busy, so you need to meet people where they are. So here are some ways for you to share Premier. The first is just to send them a quick text, and you can text them one of the many pre-recorded conference calls of the opportunity, or you can text them a video link to the YouTube opportunity video. The second way you can share this business is by bringing somebody to training. We love to have guests at training, so make sure that you're bringing people and they can listen to the OP, which is the opportunity presentation that's given at training. The third way that you can easily get this business in front of other people is by bringing them to your local Fun to Share. Now, Fun to Share is a time of the month where it happens once a month, usually at somebody's house, where we have either a dinner or dessert or both sometimes, and you invite them over. And the only requirement for you to attend Fun to Share is that you bring somebody with you who's not already a jewelry lady. So you want to use the opportunity to bring those prospects where there's just a few people around, we're just sharing a meal together, or sharing dessert together, and then sharing how this business works in a very informal setting. The fourth way to share this business is, of course, through one-on-one, where you just meet somebody for a coffee date. And if you're just not quite comfortable sharing Premier, have them meet you for coffee with your Premier mom, and you can both share Premier with people who are interested. I also want you to share Premier with every single hostess you have. Hostesses make the best jewelry ladies, so you want to make sure during your hostess coaching session, what Stephanie talked about, making sure that you share this business with every single hostess you have. Also, I'm just going to tell you, it is way more fun to do this business with friends and people that you love, or people that you become friends with that you may meet at jewelry shows. It's so much more fun to do it with somebody else. It's kind of like having a running buddy. Even if you feel like you don't know everything about this business, you can totally learn it together. That's what I did with all of my great friends who started Premier right around the time I did, and that's totally what you can do too. So make sure that sponsoring is an integral part of your business. It will help you grow in so many ways, not just financially, but relationally as well. And I can't wait to see you soar with those 2 wings on your airplane.